How's everyone doing? This is going to be a 4K Ultra HD update with 18 pickups right there. And if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. I've checked out a few of these on 4K Ultra HD, and I'll talk about what I thought of as far as the picture quality and stuff like that when I get to those particular ones. And let me know what is your favorite pickup from this lot as well. First up, you've got Darren Aronofsky's newest film, Mother. Let me know what your favorite Darren Aronofsky film is. For me, it's Requiem for a Dream by far. Then Black Swan. This is probably my least favorite from him. I do like Darren Aronofsky, but he's very stylistic. This one, again, is a darker toned movie. And the 4K Ultra HD, it looks like it's supposed to look for this film, is the best way that I can put it. A lot of kind of washed out hues and colors going on there, lots of grays, and it's a very bleak film overall. And this is a film, again, I'm a big fan of Jennifer Lawrence. Let me know what your favorite Jennifer Lawrence movie is. But for me, she couldn't save it. When I first pulled up the title screen, the menu screen, I saw it, I was like, oh, this is going to be kind of like an ode to Rosemary's Baby. I like the cast in here, the supporting cast too. Jennifer Lawrence, Javier Bardem. I always think of him he's been in tons of stuff, but the one role that always sticks out in my mind is when No Country for Old Men. Michelle Pfeiffer's in here, Ed Harris, Stephen McHattie, who I think is such an underrated actor. He was great in Pontypool and an older horror movie, The Dark, but he's been around for ages. You also have a few other recognizable people in here that you see, especially Kristen Wiig is another one too, coming out towards the end. But I just thought everything was too overt. It's obviously, you know, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but when I saw that, the first thing thought it was going to be like Rosemary's Baby. Kind of, there's little parts here and there where it felt like maybe it still could be, and then it completely took a left turn. Way too much religious symbolism. Obviously, it's an analogy for something bigger, and it was just too overt for me. I just thought it was too over the top, too ridiculous, and it didn't resonate with me personally. It felt like a pretentious art house film with a big budget and lots of well-known faces in there. It's basically none of the characters actually have names in here. They don't introduce them or say their names, but Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem are living together in this big house. They're trying to renovate the house after a big fire, and Ed Harris comes by, and he's a fan of Javier Bardem, who is a writer, and Michelle Pfeiffer is the wife of Ed Harris, and she comes, and then there's some more turmoil going on. They kind of mess things up in their lives a little bit, but Javier Bardem doesn't seem to mind, and no matter what craziness ensues, Javier Bardem just kind of goes with it, and Jennifer Lawrence is just left like, what is going on? And I feel like, for me as an audience member, that's what I was thinking too. But yeah, I mean, this is a very divisive film, a love it or hate it movie. If you saw it, definitely let me know your thoughts on it. Again, my least favorite from Darren Aronofsky, one that I don't think I ever want to sit through again. The one thing I appreciated about this movie was the cinematography and Jennifer Lawrence. I thought she was stunning in here, and she did the best she could with this, I think. But yeah, it wasn't for me personally. I understand the whole thing that they're going for, but again, it's just too over the top. It just loses that whole resonation right there for me, because of it's just too much. Next up is this was from Paramount, by the way, and this one is from RLJ Entertainment. This one surprised the heck out of me. This is Brawl in Cell Block 99, and I think Vince Vaughn is doing a great job acting-wise here, and I really liked him in Hacksaw Ridge as well, and he was good in Into the Wild too. But everything else that I think about him, I think of, over-the-top slapstick comedy movies. But he was great in a more darker, serious role. He becomes a drug courier and then ends up going to jail. And then because of something that happened during the arrest, he tries to do a good thing, but kind of screws over the people that he was working with a bit. And because of that, they want revenge on him, so they take his pregnant wife, and while he's in jail, they make him do things in jail, do violent things, and there were some really violent scenes in here. That was one of the things, though, that kind of took away from it, the darker aspects of it, because it was so easy for him to do these things and break bones and stuff like that of other people, I was just like, you need a little bit more effort than that. He just did it with such ease. But besides that, that's one of my only criticisms about this movie. I really enjoyed it. A very darker tone movie. Again, one with a lot of washed out grays and blacks going on. You've got a good supporting cast here too. Don Johnson and Jennifer Carpenter, a few other recognizable people, but a really dark role for Vince Vaughn, and I would recommend checking this one out. Again, it's got some really dark, violent scenes going on, but for me, one of the better movies of 2017. I would put it in the top, for me personally, probably like top 15 to 20 range. So yeah, I would definitely recommend checking out Brawl in Cell Block 99. I love that artwork that they chose for the front cover. But yeah, Vince Vaughn looking intimidating with the bald head right there. I wish they would have gone a little bit more into his past about him supposedly being a boxer. It's glossed over, but I remember when I was first reading all the ads for this, they kind of hyped up him being a boxer, and that really, they just briefly touched upon it in the movie. Next up, this is from Universal, and this is American Made. This is a review copy sent to me, and I believe it comes out on January 9th. This one I thought was much better than I was expecting. I feel like it kind of flew under the radar, no pun intended. This is based on a true story of a guy named Barry Seal who ends up working with the CIA. He was working for a TWA as a pilot, and he gets contacted by the CIA to take pictures down in South America of supposed communists and resistance military, and then he starts dealing with some of the biggest drug dealers in the world, bringing cocaine, and then he's also he's running drugs. He's also delivering guns to the Contras down there too. But I like the cast here. I think Tom Cruise really carried this movie. The actress who played his wife in here was absolutely stunning. I'm trying to find, I think Sarah Wright Olsen is who it was. But there's a few other, Dominic Gleeson's in here, Jesse Plemons, a few other, like I said, recognizable people. But I think Tom Cruise was the one that really carried this. And one of the special features in here is the real Barry Seal. I think he was the son. He was the youngest son of Barry Seal, and he kind of talks about growing up. He was 9 years old when his father passed away. But this movie kind of reminded me of Blow a little bit, with just kind of the jet setting and the cocaine and some of the scenes of the craziness that goes on. But yeah, based on a true story. Really enjoyed this one. If you're a fan of Tom Cruise, I'd recommend it. I think he's a great actor. He's been in a ton of great films. Some really ones that I've enjoyed growing up, and I think he still does a good job now. I know he gets a lot of criticism, I think partly because of his Scientology beliefs, but I still dig him as an actor, and I thought this was a good movie worth checking out. I think I wanted a little bit more from the ending, wanted a little bit more dramatic punch, but still one that I enjoyed, and I'd recommend, and I think it looked really good on 4K Ultra HD as well. Step up from the Blu-ray release. The Blu-ray disc on here too. And next up, this one is American Assassin, which this is from Lionsgate. I would definitely recommend the heck out of this one if you like action movies. This one I think is incredibly underrated. I feel like I didn't really hear anybody talk about it. Great cast here: Dylan O'Brien, Michael Keaton, Sanaa Lathan, and Taylor Kitsch, who I think is underrated. He was great in Friday Night Lights, and I really liked him in John Carter as well. I think that movie. It didn't do well in the box office, but I think they just dropped the ball marketing-wise for it. I didn't see any campaigns for it, or not enough marketing, and that is a movie that should have gotten tons of marketing. I thought it was a really good movie and didn't deserve all the negativity because of the box office. But yeah, this one right here, American Assassin. It's basically kind of a tale of revenge, and also trying to take out a CIA black ops division where they're trying to take out these terrorists. But I would definitely recommend the heck out of this one. Fast-paced action. I love the endings. Definitely a thrilling ending to this one. And the opening scene to this, it just hits you right in the gut. Just very emotional scene. And you really relate to the lead character. Michael Keaton was awesome in here. He's kind of like this guy that trains these guys. But a lot of good action sequences in here. Shootouts, explosions, fight sequences. Definitely recommend the heck out of that one if you like that kind of stuff. American Assassin. And next up, we've got some Christopher Nolan 4K goodness. I did pick up the box set for it. I heard that there was issues with the packaging with that one. I was able to get some of these for review purposes as well, so yeah, I'm souped on that. I really want to get the Prestige though. Let me know what is your favorite Christopher Nolan movie. The Prestige is my favorite. That's the only one I don't have on 4K as of yet, but I plan to get it soon. And let me know who your favorite Batman is. Everybody, you know, a lot of people say Christian Bale now. For me, Michael Keaton. I even like Ben Affleck over Christian Bale. I mean, I think Christian Bale is a much better actor overall, but I really like Affleck in that role. I remember when he was first announced, Affleck, there's so much backlash and criticism from fans. I did a video talking about where I thought he would be a great fit, and I think he's an excellent Batman and Bruce Wayne. But I digress. Let me get back into Dunkirk. This one blew me the heck away on 4K Ultra HD. To me, it's reference quality, one of the best 4K Ultra HD releases out there now. Again, it does have a washed out hue to it, lots of grays and blacks and things like that. But wow, there's such vivid clarity going on to it. I really did enjoy this one, but I think it misses some of the emotional impact for a war movie. You don't get too invested in the characters. At least for me, I didn't. But I like some of the timeline aspects that they did, and I still think it's a really good war movie. But I think it could have been even better. But a really great 4K Ultra HD release. Next up is Interstellar, which I really enjoy the heck out of this one. I remember thinking all the times that he says his daughter's name in there. Great cast in here, and I love these sci-fi movies like this too. And I thought Nolan did a great job. So stylistic. I haven't checked it on 4K Ultra HD, but I can't wait to. I thought this was just a beautiful film in general. But yeah, love the heck out of this one. Can't wait to revisit it. Next up is Inception. This is another one I think Nolan overall does a great job with just making beautiful films that just envelop you as an audience viewer. And I can't wait to check this out on 4K Ultra HD. Inception, it's just, these are one of these, for me, Inception is one of those movies that is if you're a fan of cinema, it could be just once in a lifetime kind of movie for me. I love the heck out of Inception. I think it's a modern classic. So really excited to check that out. And as well as the Dark Knight trilogy right there. You've got Batman Begins. I love the artwork choices for the covers right there, the slip covers. You've got The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger. And then you've got Tom Hardy as Bane. And I like that Nolan works with a lot of the same actors, you know, Christian Bale, Tom Hardy, a lot of the same people. I think it works. Next up from Lionsgate is Terminator 2, Judgment Day, an all-time classic sci-fi action movie. Love the heck out of this one. Can't wait to revisit this in 4K. Prometheus, which I love this, and I know it gets a lot of hate and criticism. I think mostly because fans wanted xenomorphs jumping around and going crazy, and it wasn't that. It was different. It was its own world. It was setting things up. There's tie-ins, but this was another visually stunning film, and I'm excited to check it out in 4K. Next up is Warm Bodies. It was kind of like zombies meet Romeo and Juliet, and I really like that actress right there. Teresa Palmer, and I like Nicholas Hoult was decent, and Rob Codroy. I'm not necessarily Dave Franco's in here too. A whole bunch of good people, John Malkovich, but I'm not a big fan necessarily of Rob Codroy acting wise. I think he's a great writer, but he did good in this role. But I did enjoy this one. I didn't think I was going to when I saw the trailer for it, but it was very entertaining. Good rom-com essentially. Warrior, which is pulls on the heartstrings. The cast really shined here. Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton, Nick Nolte. I remember seeing Joel Edgerton ages ago in an Australian movie called Acolytes, and it's great to see him doing such big things now. He's been in a ton of stuff, and he's a great actor. I think this one really put him on the map big time, though. But yeah, I definitely can't wait to check this one out on 4K. Another one that I really enjoyed, and this is another one I think is like almost kind of like our generation's Rocky in a way. Definitely very inspiring, a great, sports movie. And Nick Nolte was awesome in that one too. But next up is Pirates of the Caribbean, the last one, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Haven't seen it. Beautiful looking slipcover, definitely shines. Expecting swashbuckling action and Johnny Depp hijinks going on. And that's from Disney. And then another one from Disney is Cars 3. And that one's a nice foily cover too. So I'm expecting it to be a good family fun. Next up is Batman and Harley Quinn from Warner Brothers. This one was surprisingly good for what I was expecting when I saw the trailers for it. I was like, oh, Harley Quinn gonna be, kind of more geared towards kids and stuff, but it wasn't. They actually had some, sexual innuendos in here. There's a scene where Nightwing and Harley Quinn are in the bed, and obviously alluding to that they just hooked up. So I was kind of surprised by that. There's a few other little instances here, but I thought it was actually really entertaining and one of the better of the animated Batman movies that I've seen as of recent. So I would definitely recommend this one. It's a fun time. You take it for what it is. But again, I thought it was entertaining. And they're trying to bring down Poison Ivy and Floronic Man because they're going to turn the world into a bunch of plants. So yeah, they have to team up with Harley Quinn to Nightwing and Batman and Harley Quinn and kicking butt. Next up is The Fate of the Furious, Fast and Furious 8. Action-packed to the max. If you're a fan of this franchise, I think you'll enjoy it. This is probably one of my favorites of the series now. I definitely enjoyed it over the past few ones. For me, my favorite one is the second one. I just like the chemistry with Tyrese in there too. I just think Paul Walker, I just think that really worked well. But yeah, good supporting cast in that one too. But I like the comedic part a lot. But yeah, Fast and the Furious, tons of action, over the top, just craziness. They pull out all the stops right there for this one. And I really the cast in here was good. But Charlize Theron playing the villainous character was just so cunning and evil. You just hate her, and she does a great job in that. And I did hear there was a lot of drama on set, like certain characters couldn't be there on like shooting next to each other, which I think is kind of ridiculous. I think it was Vin Diesel and The Rock, and apparently there was issue with Tyrese in The Rock as well. I don't know, craziness, but I think it was a decent action movie, a good one for the Fast and the Furious franchise. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next. So there you go. That was the stack of 18 4K Ultra HD titles. I know a lot of people are still skeptical about 4K Ultra HD, but I would say the one that really made me get into it was The Shallows. I watched the Blu-ray of it first, then I watched the 4K Ultra HD, and it was just so vivid, and just the clarity of it, and Blake Lively in 4K, and just the whole scenery was so immersive. It was like you were there. But yeah, I would definitely recommend checking out Dunkirk. I think that's like a reference quality one. It blew me away. But yeah, it's definitely, especially the HDR, it's amazing. But there you go. Let me know if you've seen any of these movies, what you think of them, and which was your favorite from this lot as well. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care.